I wanted to ask, that's my next question, Hill. I want to kind of, because, a lot of people, we could just say all day, like, buy this crypto, buy that crypto. We'll say a couple of cryptos that we like, at least I will. But I want to kind of give people a broader range education, because I don't think people still have really educated on it. So we talked about Satoshis, which I'm sure a lot of people don't know what Satoshis are. Blockchain technology. Can you try to give a easy explanation on what blockchain technology is? Because I feel like a lot of people still don't really understand what the blockchain is.
Well, the way I try to describe it is it's trustless, which means that everything is put. Just think about a ledger. Like if you're writing out a ledger and you're saying you have an exchange of goods and services for this, someone's actually writing a ledger. But in this case, it's not changeable. You can't go back and erase it. You can't go back and say, oh, that transaction or this exchange didn't actually happen. And its uses are innumerable. Where I like to talk about for people to kind of wrap their heads around it is the idea that things that have been heretofore had barriers to entry, like you need to get a real estate license to sell real estate. With smart contracts and blockchain technology and tokenization of real estate, for instance, you can use that. For instance, if you buy, let's say I tokenize the house I'm in. No, better yet, I tokenize, I'm not talking about an NFT or a digital artwork, but I take this physical artwork. This is Bisa Butler, amazing artist. I take this and I create an X number of tokens for ownership of this artwork. Or I take the Empire State Building and I tokenize that and I sell those individual tokens. The way that token moves from owner to owner to owner is immutable, and it's registered, and it exists on the blockchain. And that's the way people need to think about it. It's basically, and the reason why it takes so much computing power oftentimes to register these transactions in many computers around the world. And that's why, for instance, I mine Ethereum. And so it takes a great deal of computational power to continue to register these transactions. And so, but it happens on a chain, then the chain cannot be broken unless it's hacked. Now, let's talk about that real quick. There was a DeFi hack this past week of the Poly Network, $600 million hack, right? So the danger is still there. Right, the danger is still there. But most of it was returned by the hacker. The hacker just wanted to prove that they could do it and help them learn to make some changes. But the point is that ultimately, the chain is, in theory, unbreakable, and everything is registered on the chain. If folks want to think about it in terms of a chain, they want to think about it in terms of a block. Whatever helps you mentally understand that once it's set, and it moves along the line of transaction.
And it also helps things move a lot quicker. Because we had said before, previously the quickest way to get $1 million from New York to London was to get on a plane with $1 million and fly from New York to London. Because if you do a bank wire, it's going to take a few days for it to even clear. With the blockchain, it can be done within a couple of minutes, depending on which platform you use. So the speed of execution, I think, is extremely important. And then, like you said, also the record of it. So this is extremely important for not to be forgerized or plagiarized. That goes back to the NFT conversation. So all of these things, it's like pieces of puzzle. They all kind of come together. So now, if you study art, I watch all these shows like 60 Minutes, and in the high-end art world, plagiarism is a huge thing. There's like hundreds of millions of dollars that's lost every year from people that buy paintings. And these paintings are like $500,000, $2 million, and they're like very, very detailed, but there's like whole factories that make fake paintings. So some of the best houses have been scammed because they thought that it was real, and like Sotheby's and all of these places. So the art world has been taking a hit for a while, with plagiarism and fake work. But now this is what the NFT comes into play. With the blockchain, you have a record for it. And unless you said like it's hacked, it's almost impossible for that plagiarism to be as rampant as it was previously. So, and then with medical records also, medical records is a big deal. I think that that's something that the blockchain technology can really help out with as far as the medical records, sending medical records, because I used to work in the insurance industry, and it would be so crazy. We used to ask for APS. So APS is an attending physician statement. So somebody wants to get life insurance, right? And they might have had, a heart attack or whatever. So now the insurance company has to contact the doctor for the APS. I've seen APSs take anywhere from a week to 9 months. 9 months. I've waited on APSs for 9 months because we call in the doctor's office and the secretary got an attitude. The doctor went on. They still keep records on file. I've seen it happen. And in that 9 months, somebody can die, right? Because the insurance company's not going to give you the insurance until everything is up to date. And they make sure that they're going to, do their due diligence. So now with the blockchain, instead of waiting, look how outdated that is. Like literally, like we call and I have to have somebody at the insurance company call and wait on the phone for an hour. Now they can just send it within minutes. They have all of the client's records. Whatever they need to be sent can be sent on the blockchain, and it's no corruption that can be done with it. And the insurance company gets it, and now they can make a decision within a day as opposed to having a client wait for a year. So the blockchain technology is something that's been around for a while and it's not going anywhere. And every company and every institution, every way of business is going to adopt blockchain technology, because cryptocurrency cannot live without blockchain, but the blockchain can live without cryptocurrency. So
absolutely. It's just, the easiest way to say it's a way of recording information. And once it's recorded, it can't be changed. It's distributed over many computers and systems. And it's a very powerful tool when you apply it across a whole universe of uses. But obviously, crypto right now is the leader in that space.